Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with another installment, number 3 of the series Resigning in a Winning Position. This is a good one. This is from the Reykjavik Open played in 1986. White is Benedict Jonasson, a FIDE master, and black is the international master Jonasson-Angantysson. Apologies for my poor Icelandic pronunciation. Black is the Icelandic chess champion from 1976. His greatest success was the 1979 World Open in Philadelphia in the US. Let's look at the game. e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4, c takes, we have a Sicilian, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, knight db5, d6, bishop f4, and with e5 we are now in a Sveshnikov variation of the Sicilian. Bishop g5, a6, take, take, and knight goes back to a3. All standard Sveshnikov moves. b5, threatening b4, so knight d5, that was, of course was the idea behind taking on f6, so that the d5 square becomes available for a white piece. All theory. Bishop g7, bishop d3, knight e7, knight takes and queen takes, c4, f5, all standard plans that white and black are carrying out. Both players castled, queen e2, black took on c4 and white took back with the knight, and rook b8. Now this is an important moment. Here white decides to win a pawn. E takes f5. That is a pawn, but black has a strong central pair as compensation. Position is about equal. d5, immediately setting his strong center in motion. Knight e3, rook d8, supporting that center. And white decides to win a second pawn. Bishop takes a6, bishop takes, and queen takes. But that center is so strong that black has enough compensation for the two pawns. e4, rook a d1, d4, black keeps pushing his pawns, knight c4, and e3. White takes, and black takes back, and that pawn looks really dangerous. Threat is now to move to e2. White took on d8, and rook takes back, and now with the queen being cut off of the defense and that strong pawn and the rook looking down the d-file, black has a winning position. White tried to muddy the waters with f6, and if black had just taken here, bishop takes f6, then there's nothing better than rook e1, and then after e2 black is winning with a strong e-pawn, and as I said, the white queen is cut off from the defense. This is a winning position for black. So by simply taking that pawn, black could have achieved that. But he saw a beautiful combination. He played e3, e2. Great move, but it has to be a double question mark. It is a blunder. Let's see what happens. White took the queen, and now black had the beautiful move, bishop d4, check. And this move went around the world as a brilliancy. White saw no way out and resigned here, so black won the game. Let's look at why he resigned. Well, if you only have 3 legal moves after bishop d4 check. If you go to h1 with the king, then there is e takes f1 queen checkmate. If you put the rook in between, then there's also e1 queen checkmate. But the third option is more complicated. The only other legal move is knight e3, but that happens to be the winning move for white. What actually happened is that this combination was published in many newspapers and columns, and I got this from the website from Tim Grabé. There was a reader of the Observer chess column, and that reader asked, what happens if white plays knight e3? And only then it was discovered that the combination was not correct. And let's see, why is knight e3 the miracle saving move? Let's have a look. Well, first let's see what happens if you take the knight. Then king h1, but then e takes f1 queen checkmate, which was checkmate before, is no longer checkmate because the knight has now moved away from c4, which means the queen is suddenly protecting the f1 square. And this is a winning position for white. Okay, so taking on e3 doesn't work. Can we do something else? Can we promote straight away? E takes f1 queen. Then there is simply queen takes f1 or king takes f1, so that doesn't work either. Is there anything else? It's one more thing that black could try. Rook e8. But then simply queen takes e2. And white has a winning position. It's just too much material up. So in fact, after knight e3 the variations are not that complicated. It is indeed a miracle move. It protects f1, it opens up the queen's protection of e2 and f1. It blocks the check. A wonderful move. And it was of course pure fluke that this was in the position. White had not seen it, black had not seen it, nobody had seen it until months later this sharp reader of the Observer chess column found this move. And this now has made the game even more famous. Resigning in a winning position. I have a few more examples to show you, so I'll keep going with this series for another while. Hope you found this amusing and instructive. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and you can leave a comment if you want. This is Rick from Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.